Alright, welcome back to the channel. As promised in the intro episode of this series, we are at the top of the Great St. Bernard Pass on the border of Italy and Switzerland. It's also a couple minutes away from France, right in the middle of things here in Europe. And about to go down the Italian side. I'm going to pause it here for a second and go over the stats quickly. So about 14 minutes of descending, average gradient 7%, -7, which is kind of my favorite. I really like that. Once you get into the double digits, you've got to actually manage the speed a lot more, even on the straight sections, just because you can't slow down fast enough coming into tight corners. 7% is a real sweet spot for me. Distance 13 Ks, average speed 58 k an hour, 36 miles an hour, not very fast. Pretty technical up top, so that's why the speed is a little bit lower than what you would think for like a 7%. Max speed 85, 53 miles an hour. I like to hit 80 on every road ride I do. I mean, that's fast for sure. I hit that multiple times a week, so I'm very used to going that kind of speed. All right, let's jump back into it. Ready for the Great St. Bernard Pass. Down the Italian side, first ride in 3 days. Yeah, so first ride in 3 days. No warm up. No warm up for this one. We were up there for a little while setting up and got the camera on Taylor's head, and a couple of cars were coming down, and we just kind of had to wait it out for a gap. We're ready to go. And yeah, there's one of the little doggies, or actually big doggies. And this guy comes blown by, first corner, blind corner. And normally I'm thinking, all right, we'll catch up to a motorbike somewhere where it gets technical, but we never saw that dude again. He's a badass guy. Obviously, he knew the road, and it's definitely faster on a moto if you know what you're doing on these little bit flatter slopes and the double-digit stuff. So I hadn't actually seen this tunnel at all. Straight into some kind of sci-fi movie here. We were standing right above it, shooting B-roll early on, but yeah, everything down here is new and a surprise to us because we drove up from the Swiss side, and this is our first time seeing any of this. I've also switched onto the map screen on my head unit, which I normally do for descents. I haven't ridden before, so I can kind of see if there's like a tight corner coming up or, just a little bit extra knowledge. But their screen is completely black right now. There's nothing going on. I forgot to upload the European maps for this trip, so for this first descent, I'm just going totally on sight, which is fine. It's nice to have a little bit of the maps to look at, but it's not a big deal. We did it for how many years without that kind of technology. I also decided I was going to ride on the front for this one because I don't want to put that pressure on Taylor and have him, think he has to go at some crazy speed down here. I just thought to myself, I'm going to ride this, fast as always, but definitely not going to be pushing any limits and risking anything because it's the first run of the series and it's quite a lot of pressure anyway. Just you come all the way here and you crash out here, hurt yourself or break your bike, and you go home with nothing except bruises or broken bones. That's a big issue. So yeah, I'm riding nice and smooth here as far as I'm concerned, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's about 9 a.m. I think in the morning, Monday morning. Come up nice and early, and don't want to come up too early and be freezing, but you don't want tons of cars on the road. So yeah, most of the corners are kind of predictable, but every now and then one will tighten up that you weren't really expecting to. And there's this hand-built wooden rail on the side, which is absolutely gorgeous. Also adds to that kind of speed effect when you're flying down past stuff really close by on the peripheral. And then on the other side, stone walls. And we were told that the Swiss roads are going to be perfect and the Italian roads are a mess, but this road's absolutely perfect. Incredible road. And this is quite technical up here, like I said, it wasn't a super fast average speed, but that's why. It's because so many bends up here. And I'm also, right now, I know I'm thinking, oh, we're in the shade, how's the exposure, I locked the exposure, things like that always come up in my mind, but I've got to try to push that out of the way and just enjoy the experience of actually being here and riding. And we're not going to stop and change settings anyway once we start riding, so you just got to push that aside and kind of enjoy it, and also focus on the task at hand. And yeah, you guys might hear when I stand up on the pedals, the bike sounding a little bit like a chainsaw. Not much I can do about that. It wasn't making that noise before I left, but I slapped a new chain on.
What an epic road. I got no maps on my GPS for some units, so riding this totally blind. Haven't even driven up or down it.
Yeah, so that's just what I was talking about earlier, just riding on sight here. And man, look at this rock wall popping up on the right hand side. It's massive, looks skyscraper high next to you. And then again on the other side, this broken up wall flashing by. Such a cool piece of road. I'm really happy we stopped in here, and I changed plans just before we left. We get the first super tuck of the day in, starting to straighten out a little as we head down further and further into the valley. And I'm looking down constantly, seeing what's coming up, planning, how to approach each corner as it comes. This one can't see through, so I pop up and bam. Damn it, motorbike. Took the apex of the road right there, but it's not my personal roads. But you do see that coming, and it always hits you like, there goes the line. You gotta readjust quickly. Big slow one here. And you can really start to see down into the valley, see what's coming up. There's that bit of the chainsaw noise coming. I slapped a new chain on and started making weird noise. But when you're traveling, you don't really want to start messing with your bike. It's not rubbing the frame. It wasn't rubbing the front mech, so it was also shifting well. So I just left it. Unfortunately, we're going to have to hear that for the whole trip. That's probably the only pothole on the whole road there. Just a little dodge around it and going full gas down here. Coming up into some more technical stuff, but you can tell the road's starting to stretch out, open up a little bit. And a lot of these ones you can actually see down before you're into them, so take a nice apex and you can run it all the way out wide. Yeah, you can see right there up to the right, you can look down and nothing's coming up. A lot of people think we're just taking crazy chances, but I've been riding full time for 20 years and never hit a car head on from just blowing a blind corner. That's just not something we do. So yeah, on these videos, hard to see too until like right now. There's a bunch of cow crap or something there. But we can see that from a lot further away in person. Right here is where we parked the car out on the way back up, and we shot some of the B-roll that you saw in the intro to this and in the main film and in the intro series. Another car on the apex there. There's a big wall looking at you if you mess that corner up. It's not a pretty place to run wide. Now I'm starting to see this tunnel down to the left there. It's actually a bridge, but it's also a tunnel because it's the new road that cuts through the whole mountain, and we're kind of on the old road, the tourist road you could say now, which is really good because a lot of cars that just go commuting or traveling here all the time, they're going to take that tunnel and not waste their time going through this twisty road, which means there's less traffic for us. And I had that tunnel right there is something you see on the maps, and when I was scouting it, that's kind of a middle point of the descent, and I knew that we had to go underneath it, and I had one part of the road I had kind of street viewed a lot, and I was really looking forward to this corner coming up there. So I'm starting to see all of this now is what I remember from Street View on Google Maps, so it's familiar, and it's kind of cool that you're recognizing a place that you've never been to. And this is so nice. Look at that road, I mean, holy moly. So here's the corner I was talking about. I'm looking forward to it, and car up or bus up. All of that anticipation for weeks coming up to that corner. That's kind of why I'm shrieking like a kid there. It all meant nothing because there's a bus right in the middle of that corner, and you got to take a wide, slow line. Now this is the only part of all of the descents I released before the main film came out. I wanted to put something out, and this is such a cool piece of road here. I got the new foil. I got the new kit. I got Taylor right on my wheel, and we're just hammering through here. Such a cool feeling. An amazing piece of road. This is where we hit our max speed. Now the speed's a little weird because my computer's saying like 81 at most. Taylor said 87. Same computer, and we're riding right next to each other or right behind each other. So I don't know how that varied, but I just put the max speed in the stats up top at the side of the video at 85k now, somewhere in the middle. That's what it felt like. And yeah, I was just waiting. I'm like, when do I actually get out of this super tuck? It's kind of going on, and then real tight hairpin popped up there. Um, so yeah, I'd say this is the lower slopes we're into now. We're in the forest, into the trees, which means we've dropped a lot of elevation. And it seems to be kind of narrowing up a little bit, or maybe that's just the feeling you get because there's more shadows and these big trees on both sides. And cars are starting to also build up. I'm seeing more and more cars coming up, so I'm a little wary here, trying to take a nice line through this, but I can see through the trees, car coming. This is like the first where it's actually flattened out just a little bit, and I start to see cars ahead of me too. A little disappointed, but I'm also thinking like, oh, we haven't seen any cars in front of us the whole time. We've done well so far. This is our still going downhill, but yeah, having to actually pedal. And
we had such a clean run.
Yeah, can't complain. You definitely can't. See this other car coming up, but there's plenty of time to get through. Run out a little wide because I don't want to stop pedaling. And yeah, I don't know what you're doing. Taking your hand off the wheel and honking if you think it's really an emergency, but waited there till the last second and then finally could see a gap and shot around that van. And once I pass a section of cars like that, I'm just going maxing out the watts and speeds because I don't want to have to be dealing with the cars again. And if I pass a car, I don't want them to have to pass me back. So yeah, look at this road. I know I keep saying it, but we didn't really know what we're in for. This is our first descent. It's just such a perfect bit of road. We're going for 11 minutes, just flawless. And from here on out, it's kind of like this: long straights, hairpin, long straight, repeat, and another hairpin. So I'll probably wrap it up here. You guys can watch the rest of this. Another couple of minutes. Definitely worth the watch, but I thought, ooh, little damp spot there too. Yeah, so there's always something that pops up that you weren't expecting. So obviously this part hasn't seen sun all day. But yeah, definitely check the part without me mumbling down for the rest of this descent. We come back and join the highway, and pretty relieved to get the first one in the books. And I should be kind of excited right down here, but I'm just a perfectionist. I'm thinking, okay, how did that work out? How was the light on this descent? What are we doing next? Hopefully Nina's going to take this right-hand turn and meet us. And my brain's just working in work mode. It's not really in party mode. That's just who I am, not full of emotion because you got to be pretty level-headed when you're doing this kind of stuff. All right, guys, next time I'll be back going down the opposite side of this pass on the Swiss side of the Great St. Bernard. I'll see you there. Peace.